What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns doing another discuss video. And I was thinking about this the other day when I was selling some stuff in Grand Theft Auto Online. Specifically, the air freight. You know, when you go and you source something, you go pick it up, or you do all these tasks like the stunning, you know, getting a buzzard like I do, flying under the bridges, then go pick up the item, bring it back to your hangar. And then you want to sell it, right? Because like Monday was the last day we could make double money, and I'd already sold like everything else. So I decided, you know what? I think I'll do this, you know, source, sell, you know, like one item at a time. And it took forever to source, and then it took a long time to actually sell it. In fact, just for like one item, one cargo, one crate in my hangar, I had to go to like 6 different locations with Havoc helicopters. And at the end of the day, once I was done with all that, it took way more time than it was worth, and I only got just under $20,000. And that left me to ponder, is there a better way to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online? Now, I know that there's other content creators that have gone out talking about, well, this business is the best, that business is the best. I'm going to go old school. That's right. We're going retro today. We're going backwards in time. That's right. Before Smuggler's Run, gun running, import-export, bikers, finance and felony, and of course, heists. There was another way that we made money in Grand Theft Auto Online. Contact missions. Yes! And of course, why are we going with contact missions? You're probably wondering, GeauxBurns, why? We have all this other means of making money. Plus, all those means have, you know, toys and items, new stuff added to the game that you can only specifically get by either having a bunker and an MOC, or a hangar, or the vehicle warehouse for the special vehicles. Why, GeauxBurns? Why do we want to go back when we should be going forward? Well, for one thing, perhaps by going backwards, we save money. Now, let's just sit back for a moment and ask ourselves, what kind of player are we in Grand Theft Auto Online? And the only player I can discuss is me. Now, I do enjoy playing with my friends, my viewers, subscribers, fans, whether it's, you know, just goofing off or, you know, doing some other stuff, or even during the live streams on the PS4 with the GeauxBurns stream team. But a lot of times, you know, I'm playing alone, and I'm either doing VIP work, which is another good way to make money, by the way, in Grand Theft Auto Online, or I'm still doing the contact missions. Now, granted, contact missions don't make you that much money, but at the same time, let's talk about the payouts. And the contact missions are based upon rank. So you reach a certain rank, you unlock more contact missions. The more contact missions you unlock, the more opportunities you have to not only make RP, but to make money as well. So Rockstar, over the past few years, has tweaked the contact missions. By the way, you can get contact missions from several Grand Theft Auto 5 characters, such as Lamar, Gerald, let's see, as well as Lester, Ron, Trevor, and Martin. And some of the more favorites, some of these have been retired, some of these still exist, like Rooftop Rumble, Coveted, Trash Talk, Los Santos Connection, and more. Great ways for you to either go in solo or with friends, crewmates, in order to grind and make money. Now, by passing a contact mission, you get an instant reward via RP and money. But if you do that mission and pass it with, as I mentioned, other players, friends, and even crewmates, you make even more money. And if you decide which mode you want to play the contact mission on, say easy, or if you want to do it on normal, that gives you a 25% bonus. But if you want to do it on hard, you only have like 1 extra life amongst your entire team. But you get, you know, 50% increase in payouts when it comes to RP, as well as money. That's right, baby. So there's also other things that we have to factor in, and to do so, we have to go over to Grand Theft Auto Wiki. I love Grand Theft Auto Wiki, by the way. It's a great source for all things Grand Theft Auto. So there's definitely various rewards that you can look at regarding contact missions like multipliers, like minutes. And that's another issue in some of these contact missions that are not timer based. If you take your time to do these missions for some reason, you get better payouts. It's crazy how it works. Like if you rush through trash talk like I can do, you may be lucky to make $13,000 to $15,000. But if you take your sweet time, you'll make even more money. And that's the interesting thing about it. It just continues to give you more money for doing it. Like 15 plus minutes increases your payout dramatically. But if you rush through it, you don't get paid as much. I don't know why Rockstar did that. I guess they were trying to combat grinders back in the day. But really, it seems kind of ridiculous now. And like I mentioned, the difficulty, that's an important factor. There's also a crew RP bonus, friend RP bonus, free MRP bonus. Obviously, people are probably not interested in RP bonuses. They want to make the money, right? In order to maximize the amount of money you're going to get in a contact mission, you obviously don't want to play alone. Even though you can in most of these contact missions, let's just say you get at least a friend to play with you. 2 people in a mission can each earn 10% more cash. 3 players will net 20% more, and 4 players will earn 30% more. So that's definitely a great way to make more money. Doing contact missions, the more the merrier. Up to 4 people will net you a maximum amount of money. Plus, also taking your sweet time for each of these contact missions. But you also have to factor in the reality of, how many missions do you want to knock out in, say, an hour or 2 hours? In the end, it might be better just to grind through these missions and get them knocked out as quickly as possible. That way, in the end, you end up with a larger lump sum of money while you're busting through contact mission after contact mission after contact mission. Now, another thing I really like about contact missions is in the contact missions themselves, you have the ability to call either your mechanic or Pegasus to request a vehicle. So there are certain missions that are easier to accomplish even on hard if you have, for example, a buzzard attack helicopter or a Savage, Hydra, Oppressor, APC, a Rhino tank, or even a Valkyrie, if you have at least 2 or 3 people playing with you in order to maximize the payouts in contact missions. Now here's the big reason why I'm a proponent of the contact missions. Everything else is an investment in order to eventually get potential payouts. Even heists, which was the first way to make money post contact missions. In order to do heists, you first and foremost have to have a certain rank, which I think it's rank 5, so it doesn't take long to reach rank 5. Most of you are at least rank 5. You have to have a high-end apartment, which is at least $100-something thousand or higher, depending on what type of high-end apartment you have. Each of them have a planning room, and you need at least one high-end apartment with the planning room in order to be able to do heists. And then, of course, there's the startup fee for all the heists. Each one is a little bit higher than the other, but at the end of the day, the payouts, after you're done with all the setup missions leading up to the finale, leading up to the big heists, that can easily get your money back and then some. But there is a setup fee. Plus, you have to find 3 reliable players. Randoms is always a crapshoot, and you really don't know what you're going to get with randos. Even if you get one good random and you have 2 other players, there's no guarantee that random is going to keep playing with you. They may just play through one setup or through one heist, and maybe you want to move on to the next heist, and maybe they want to go off and have lunch or dinner or do whatever the hell they do with their lives because they're not really connected to you. They're just randomly joining your heist in order to make some quick cash. So random is always a wild card when it comes to heists, and like I mentioned, you have to have 3 other very reliable players that you can count on that have decent internet connection. Now, when it comes to the other business ventures that have been added to Grand Theft Auto Online, one would think that these are great ways to make money. However, I beg to differ, unless you already have a ton of money to begin with, like finance and felony, for example. In order to be able to pick up cargo and sell cargo, you have to have a few requirements, which cost money. Requirements equal money in this game, and requirements also translate into potentially millions of dollars of Grand Theft Auto currency. So already you're in the hole in order to meet certain requirements. Now, for finance and felony requirements, you have to own an executive office. You have to have one of the warehouses, whether it's a small warehouse or a big warehouse. and then you have to buy and sell the contraband, which takes time and money. And eventually, somewhere down the road, you might just end up breaking even after meeting all the quote-unquote requirements for not finance and felony. The next business venture is bikers, which, yes, also has requirements. The MC Clubhouse, and, you know, in order to make money, you have to have at least one of the biker businesses. And there's several businesses to choose from. I think you can have them all, or you can have a select few. Like, let's see, the document forgery, counterfeit cash, weed farm, meth lab, the coke lockup. All that will cost you money in order to make money that way. Even though it's a passive income, at the same time, you're going to have to throw a lot of money on the table before you break even and then eventually start making more money down the road. Now we move on to import-export. One of the more favorite ways to make money in the game, because it really does tie into the name, Grand Theft Auto Online, because it's all about stealing cars. Not just, you know, regular cars off the street that you can take to Los Santos Customs and get maybe a few thousand for. These are really nice cars that you can steal. But import-export also requires money. Once again, an executive office, if you don't already have it. See the vehicle warehouse in order to, you know, stock the vehicles that you're going to be sourcing and eventually selling. All this costs money. Once more, in order to invest in this particular business venture. Likewise with gun running. Yes, a lot of requirements in order to eventually make money in gun running. You have to either be a CEO, an MC president, or a VIP. And I think the minimum now for a VIP is what, $10,000 in your Amaze bank account. So it's much lower than what it was initially, which I think was what, $1 million if you're not an MC president or a CEO and you're just interested in the bunker. And that's another thing. You have to own a bunker and you have to have all the upgrades like the bunker staff and everything else in order to be able to go out sourcing and selling arms. And that takes a long time. And once again, it's also a passive form of income, but it takes a while to, you know, break even, to get that money back that you spent for the bunker, for the staff, for the various upgrades. And eventually you might be able to break even if you really commit yourself to it. And then down the road, you might actually make some money at it. But, you know, first and foremost, it's going to cost you millions of dollars to get into gun running, just like with import-export, bikers, as well as finance and felony, and most recently, Smuggler's Run. Yes, there are requirements for Smuggler's Run. Once again, you have to either be a CEO, an MC president, or a VIP. You're going to have to purchase a hangar, either at LSIA or Fort Zancudo. And then, of course, you're going to have to, once again, source and sell the cargo, which takes time and money. Because, you know, Ron's going to get his cut after you do a sell. And the way it is, even if you are in a solo lobby and you find one of those unicorns by accident, or a small public lobby where there's only a few people and they're each doing their own thing and no one's out to grief anybody, it's still going to take a lot of effort for you to sell your stuff, and you're going to have to worry about the NPCs coming after you as well as the timer, and that can be an entirely different issue right there, because there's always the chance that you're not going to be able to carry out a sale operation and you're going to lose some of that money. Now, what does all the business ventures I just mentioned have in common as the one big requirement, besides all the money you're going to have to spend in order to get them off the ground, in order to first break even, then maybe eventually start making money? Well, they all have to be played, as I just said, in a public lobby. You cannot do finance and felony, bikers, import-exporting, gun running, or Smuggler's Run in friend lobbies or invite-only lobbies. You have to be in a public lobby. By comparison, here are the requirements for contact missions. One, we already run over the fact that you have to have a certain rank. Oh, that's it? That's all you need, is you have to be a certain rank, or one of your friends or crewmates have to be a certain rank in order to do said mission. That's it. That's the only requirement. And if you pass the mission, guess what? You get money. You fail the mission, you get the option to restart. Now, some missions will require at least 2 players, but most can be beaten even on hard going solo. And sadly, Rockstar took away the replay option for missions some time ago, so we can replay almost anything in the game, like races, death matches, LTSs, captures, except for contact missions. because at the time, Rockstar, once again, did not like the fact that players were grinding the contact missions in order to make money, in order to purchase the supercars, clothing, weapons, high-end apartments. But now that things are way more expensive, I don't know why they haven't just brought the replay option back in when it comes to contact missions. And I feel like they've kind of nerfed the money a little bit when it comes to contact mission payouts. I could just be paranoid about that, but I have noticed a slight drop in the amount of money I get now from contact missions as opposed to what I used to make. But then again, maybe I'm just rushing through them way faster than I once did. Now, for everyone wondering, okay, GeauxBurns, you're kind of selling me on contact missions because I don't really want to spend millions of dollars on all these other quote-unquote business ventures. I just want to make money. I don't care about the particular items that come with each of these business ventures. I just want to be able to buy a high-end apartment and some of the sweet supercars. I don't care about the other stuff. Cool. Fantastic. I even have a strategy that I use that I'm going to bestow upon you. It's called the Buzzard Savage Missions. And that does have a requirement. Yes, it does. A Buzzard attack helicopter or the Savage attack helicopter. Now, the quote-unquote cheaper version, and the one that most people prefer, is the Buzzard attack helicopter, which is listed over at, Warstock, which you can get through Pegasus for $1.75 million. However, I personally prefer using the Savage because there's no cooldown on the missiles and you get explosive ammo, whereas on the Buzzard, it's just regular ammo. Now for the Savage, its price ranges from $1.95 million to $2.6 million at Warstock, depending on whether or not you completed the mission that unlocks the Savage at a cheaper price in one of the heists. I think it's during Pacific Standard, if I'm not mistaken. That also becomes available via Pegasus. And there is a fee for calling up these vehicles during a mission. It's $200. That's right. A measly $200 of Grand Theft Auto currency gets you the Buzzard or the Savage to use in said mission. You know, as long as you've purchased it already for, the price tags that I just mentioned, obviously. Now, here are my Buzzard Savage contact missions that I use all the time to make money. Not much money, but a little bit helps. And I suggest that if you're interested in this as well, maybe even make a playlist with trash talk, denial of service, mixed up with coke, on the list, blow up 3, artificial scarcity, and there's probably a few more as well. Overall, the contact mission payouts are smaller. Some fluctuate, some get you more money than others, depending on the difficulty. But the overall cost, the price tag to do contact missions compared to the quote-unquote business ventures is a lot less. And the completion of each contact mission equals money right then and there. Not eventually you're going to make money, a few hours later or a few days later. You complete Trash Talk, you complete Rooftop Rumble or Denial of Service or any of these other missions, you get paid right then and there. And once you're done grinding, either via the vote screen or in a playlist, if you want to put together a playlist of contact missions, once you're done and you go back to a lobby, you just deposit all that money you just grinded and earned from contact missions into your Maze Bank account. Like I said, it's not going to earn you a lot of money, but at the end of the day, when you balance it out compared to how much you're going to spend on business ventures, in the long run, if your only goal is to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online, whether playing solo or with friends or crewmates, and you don't have $1 million or millions of dollars more or less to invest in the business ventures, why not consider going old school in Grand Theft Auto Online by grinding the contact missions? At the very least, contact missions do give you another alternative to make money while you're doing all the other various business ventures, while you're waiting for your stock to build up in your biker businesses or in your bunker, or you have a cooldown for import-export. Go do a mission, go do a few missions, make some more money, then come back and then, go sell your goods, then, start the whole process over again. Plus, if you have to go it alone, it's a lot easier to do that and succeed and get paid by the contact missions than trying to, source or sell items in most of these other business ventures. Usually you end up dying and losing, whatever you're going to source or sell, or you get griefed by other players. All right, so in next week's Discuss video will be participation. I know some of you really enjoy participating in the Discuss episodes. Sometimes we do participation, sometimes go it alone. Next week, we're going to talk about fall 2017 games that you are looking forward to. And yes, fall is fast approaching in the Northern Hemisphere. It's going to be here this Friday, September 22nd. I realize that's not the case in the Southern Hemisphere. We're going by the Northern Hemisphere. I'm sorry, everyone in the South. It's just the way it is. So, what game coming out this fall 2017, our games, are you most looking forward to and why? You have till this Friday, which is the beginning of fall once again, September 22nd, to submit your fall 2017 game or games via the comment section, Twitter, or Facebook.